Hey Gateway, today I have two responsibilities, both of which are huge honors. The first is presenting the Top Producers Awards for Oklahoma, and I'll get to that in just a few minutes. But first I'd like to thank everybody at Gateway, because every time you close a loan, we donate $5 to the Folds of Honor. Every time you close a loan, we make a donation to help them in their mission to provide scholarships to the spouses and children of those killed or disabled in the defense of our freedoms. Every time you and your team close a loan, you're helping these families. I'd like for you to hear from one of the families that received the scholarship. This is Colleen Katzenberger and her son Everett.
So you know how there's days in life that just, you can't forget them. One of those days for me is the very first day I ever saw Jeremy. It was the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend, and I had gotten this job to lifeguard at our local golf club. And around the corner comes this young man. He was tall with these broad shoulders and blonde hair and these blue eyes that just sparkled. But every time I would run into him, I would just find it hard to breathe. And then our first year of college, I needed a date for a sorority formal, and he needed a date for a ROTC function that he was going to. And then Jeremy finally jumped the gun and said, you know, I'll go with you to yours if you come with me to mine. I just remember typing back to him, deal. I just remember at the end of the night thinking to myself, oh, this guy has totally stolen my heart. And from that night on, Jeremy and I were just, it was a deal. We were a signed deal. So April 30th of 2005, I was 19. I walked down the aisle to the love of my life, and we started our journey together. So those first years of our marriage were just kind of very focused on, I don't know, getting used to being married, me finishing school. We just knew we didn't really want to start a family until we were a little more stable. And I think at this point, I was 23 and he was 24. We just kind of decided it was time for us to expand our family. And we were able to welcome our son Everett into the world in October of 2010. We actually brought Jeremy home early from his 7th deployment so he could be there for the birth. While Jeremy was on that deployment, I had recorded him reading Oh, the Places You Would Go, because there were studies done that babies hear voices in the womb and they would get familiar with voices. So they put him on the incubator and he was mad, and Jeremy goes over there and he just starts talking to him. He puts his 2 fingers in Everett's little hands, and Everett immediately just calmed. He knew his dad. And I just remember Jeremy looking at me and he's like, he knows I'm his dad. I think that's the happiest day I ever saw my husband. He was so proud of me, and he was so excited to be a dad. I think of that moment, and I just miss him.
You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Well, Everett, I'm excited to see you, and I know you'll go great places. Love you. Bye.
Wow, that was a touching video, pretty powerful. Now we have Colonel Nick Nichols with us from the Folds, and I'd like to have him share a little bit about his passion, why he joined the Folds, and maybe share some of their story.
Mark, thank you very much. And that was truly a powerful story. I mean, you watch that with Colleen and Everett, and how can you not give money to the Folds of Honor Foundation? And on behalf of the 29,000 scholarships that Folds of Honor has put out the door, over $145 million supporting these awesome families. And Gateway has been there since the beginning. You know, I look back into 2020, and when COVID hit, and it was around about this time last year, and we were sitting around as an organization organization, really not knowing what was going to happen. We are so event driven in everything that happens, but Gateway stood there with us. So we had committed early on that we were going to provide scholarships for every single legacy family. And what I mean by that is if you had a scholarship the year before, we were committing no matter what to make sure those kids and those spouses went to school. But through the generosity of Gateway and many other people and many other organizations like this, we were able to send an additional 1,000 scholarships out at Christmas time. It was the most heart-wrenching, joyful time that we have ever seen. These families weren't expecting this. Some of these families had 5 kids. That is $25,000 a year in support, which was absolutely incredible. And you guys here, Market Gateway, and your team have provided over $500,000, over $500,000 in scholarships, which is truly unbelievable, and we are so thankful. You may think that $5 isn't a whole lot, but it adds up. And obviously you guys are doing great because you had a record year last year with us with $175,000. So sir, thank you very much.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Mark and the Gateway team, thank you so much for allowing me to come here and talk about the Folds of Honor and the awesome families that we serve. Now to your family, I hear we got some awesome awards that we're getting ready to hand out.
Absolutely. Hey, yeah, why don't you help me with that? The first group of awards is the Chairman's Club.
I'd be honored to. Let's get to it.
The Chairman's Club is anyone that funded between $24 and $36 million last year.
Out of Durant, Brooke Fields with $24.8 million. Amazing. Also out of Durant, Cindy James with $25.5 million. Congratulations. Next is Fran Peterson out of Edmond, $27 million. Congratulations. And next, in Tulsa, right here in our own backyard, Deidre Robinson, $28.5 million. Incredible job. All right, we're moving a little bit further west to Enid. Jeanette Douglas, $33 million. Great job. And back here to Tulsa, Reagan Ford with $33.4 million. Congratulations.
Okay, Nick, thanks a lot. Now we're going to recognize the folks in the Chairman's Council.
All right, let's do it.
The Chairman's Council is anybody that did between $36 and $48 million last year.
And back here to Tulsa, Tasha Reinhardt with $38 million. Incredible job. Now we're going to my town, and we're the Folds of Honor's headquarters, and that's right here in Owasso, USA, Oklahoma. And Tony Rogers, girl, you have been a massive supporter of the Folds of Honor for so many years, and we are so thankful for everything that you do. Before I talk about Tony's amount, here's one thing I want you to know. So not only is Tony closing a ton of loans, and we're getting that donation, but she also donates out of her personal funds every time she closes a loan. And through Tony's incredible work ethic, she did $41 million in 2020, which is incredible. Tony, we salute you at the Folds of Honor. Thank you for everything that you do.
You know what, you're right about Tony. She does donate out of her own pocket, and it's fantastic. She is passionate about the Folds, and I'd love to see all of our other loan officers do the same thing.
That would be incredible, Mark. Thank you very much.
Next up is a Founders Club. That's anybody that did it between $48 and $60 million last year.
All right, let's get to it. Now moving out west, we're going to Oklahoma City. Brett Baldwin, $48.4 million. And Brett, I want to thank you for your service. Love the Marine Corps, and got to stomp a lot of the same ground with you guys through the years. So, sir, thank you for your service. Now headed out to Norman, Oklahoma, Kathy Toutfest, $57.6 million out there in Sooner Country. Congratulations.
So our next group is the Hall of Fame. Anybody that did over $60 million.
Oh, incredible. I look forward to announcing these. And now headed out to Ada, Oklahoma. A shout out to Michael McElroy, $60.4 million. Incredible job, sir. And moving back to Tulsa, Chris Padley with $68 million. That is unbelievable. And now back out to Sooner Country, Norman, Oklahoma, Chris Doak with $71.8 million. Congratulations. Now finishing out the awards, we've got Tom Rosser in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I guess we can just call this the Top Gun Award, right?
Absolutely.
$75.9 million. A big salute to you, sir. Congratulations.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. That was awesome. I appreciate your help on this, and congratulations on all the award winners. Everybody did a fantastic job, and we hope that you can just knock it out of the park this year.